Hi, I'm Mitchell Dale, and this is Rugby League Week's Friday Arvo Footy. I'm joined on the couch today by Martin Lenihan from Rugby League Week and Eric Growth Jr. Thanks for joining us, boys. Two huge games tonight. First up, we'll talk about the Dogs and the Panthers. Now, they're sitting third and fourth respectively on the competition ladder, but they weren't looking a lot like top four sides last weekend.
No, definitely not. Yeah, you wouldn't be mistaken if you thought they were in the lower rung of the ladder there. But I think it's Panthers' biggest test this week. I think they've got a lot of doubters and a lot of noise going on around the club about them not being the real deal. If they can beat the Dogs, who are in my opinion, the real deal, they will shut a lot of people up. And I know that personally, a few friends of mine in that team want to do that.
Yeah, well, one bloke who doesn't really care what the haters are saying is Jamie Sowell. We spoke to him this week about
Yes,
that,
he does. He does care.
Well, he doesn't. Let's have a listen.
I don't really care what other people say. If they want to label our team whatever, internally we know who we are and what our team is. So you're always going to have knockers throughout the year, and we've had a fair few the last month or so. And I guess the two losses hasn't helped. But in saying that, anyone that knows me knows I don't really care too much.
Yeah, Jamie, I think he cared what Bo Ryan said, but anyway, that's another story. The Dogs boys have scored 2 tries in 140 minutes of footy, their last 140. So, look, the Cowboys winning away from home last week was a bit of a shock. They got the Doggies, they've lost a couple. Josh Reynolds obviously is the big key, I think, coming back for them. Got a lot of confidence out of winning the Origin series. Got himself suspended. We went out and caught up with the Dogs this week just to see how they feel about Josh coming back.
Yeah, look, Josh was, obviously it's noted how much he competes on every play. It's not so much, what he brings to us on the footy field, it's what he brings to the group, He's just such a likeable character. He's good fun around the place, and he's a hell of a footballer too, so it'll be a huge addition to have him back in the side, and it'll allow Tony to play his familiar role as well. I think not only does it help having Josh back in the team, but in terms of the balance of the side, it allows us to get back to the style of footy that we were probably playing the middle part of the year. But you're certainly right, he has missed some football, and it has been difficult at times without him.
Yeah, that's right. Look, it's no great secret that they are a much better side when he's there. And again, having Tony Williams back in the back row, I think he's clearly more damaging in that.
It's going to be a massive spectacle. I reckon it's going to be one of the best games of the season. They've both got a lot to prove, after last week, and just from what all the media and people are saying around the clubs. Yeah,
look, this is it. 6 weeks to go. Both sides need to get a move on. Leno, who do you think?
Oh, I just think the Dogs will be too good, mate. I like Reynolds back there. Obviously, him and Hodkinson, got a lot of good time together there in Origin. I think they've needed him. They've mucked around with the side a bit there with Tony Williams. I think back to their structure, they'll beat Penrith.
Yep, Dogs for me, mate. It's just echoing what Leno said there, mate. And I just think that they're the real deal, and they're going to prove it this weekend.
Yeah, look, I think the Dogs as well. Panthers, all sorts of problems with the halves. Very interesting, boys, to see how Will Smith goes there in the number 6 jersey. He's on debut. But look, I think it will be the Dogs to bounce back after 2 losses and have a win tonight. Right, the other big game this weekend, Manly and the Broncos. Now, 2 sides that have had a fair bit of off-field upheaval the past month, you'd say, but one side in particular has handled it a lot better in Manly. That siege mentality, they love it.
They feed off it, don't they? I wrote on our website this week about Manly, just if you're waiting for the dirty laundry to sort of derail their season, it just isn't going to happen. They've won 9 out of 10 at Brookvale this year. They're virtually unstoppable there. I don't know whether they love all this stuff, they thrive on it, whatever it is. It's just doesn't seem to put them off their game at all. So I think Brisbane are going to find it very hard to head there.
Interestingly,
and win.
Talking about Brookie, I think they've won their past 7 there, and interesting comments from Todd Lowrie. And here comes a language warning. He said it's a shithole. That's how he described Brookvale Oval this week.
Nice, Louse, nice.
Eric, what do you think? I mean, you've played there. What's Brookie like to run around it?
Mate, it's a shithole. Mate, it really is. No one wants to play there because they are at their mongrel best there. And Manly, with all that off-field stuff, that does not bother them. They are big game players. They're too professional to worry about any little insignificant chit-chat going on outside of what their job is. And that's why they are a force to be reckoned with. And that's why I reckon they'll win the grand final this year.
Yeah, and very hard for Brisbane to go down there. Look,
not impossible, but it's pretty impossible.
It's in the middle of a really tough month of footy for the Broncos as well. Obviously, they had the Storm last week. They've got the Bulldogs and Rabbitohs coming out after this. they're in that logjam on 22 points. They really need to jag at least 1 or 2 wins over the next few weeks.
They do have a good for and against, boys, plus 60, so only the Cowboys have got a better one in that group, but it's Manly for me.
Manly, definitely Manly.
Yeah, Manly for me as well. Good luck to Brisbane, but I think it's going to be Manly. Right, we didn't have the Encouragement Award last week. We were swamped by letters. I think they were all from your mum saying, bring back Eric's award. So here it is, the Encouragement Award.
The Encouragement Award this week goes to Johnny Sutton for his hairdos. He did the Paulie D last week. Then he did a little, like a little sumo do. And this week, apparently his knee's all right and he could have played Sunday, but he booked into the hairdresser Saturday. It's a 48-hour job. So we don't know what he's going to come up with, but here's to you, Johnny, mate. Encouragement on the way. I wish I had 2 because I'd give one to Mitch for his shirt.
There you go, Shane.
When he... When you get a chance, just give him a picnic blanket back. It'd be great, mate. Cheers.
Another week, another shirt job. That's it for us this week. Thanks, Leno. Thanks, Eric.
Boys.
Thanks for
guys.
joining us. We'll see you next week.